Wajakoya, but of course, if you missed that, you can go online and catch up, rewatch it again, and learn more about this very interesting professor. But being a Tuesday, we also focus on money, and today we're taking a look at making money online. The internet offers thousands of job opportunities, yet it remains a mystery to many. This week on Your Money, we speak to Samuel Kimani, a virtual assistant who has worked as an online freelancer since campus, on how to, and tells us how to navigate and exploit online opportunities. Take a look.
Now, a lot of clamor has been around the online freelance community. For someone who's heard of this and is interested, how best would you advise them to actually start out in order to eventually make proper money and sustain their livelihood within the online freelance community?
Well, while starting out, when developing that interest to work online, you'll probably want to do a search on the internet. But again, while doing that search, you're bound, or you're likely to fall into something that's not really online work, but it's more of a scam, I would say. So the best avenue to pursue would be to move on to these freelancing platforms. And once you move in there, an example is Upwork, another example is People Per Hour, or Fiverr.com, just creating random accounts in there and trying to look at what's being posted. You go in there and look at what clients are posting, what services people are seeking, and then you'll have an idea of exactly what working online would mean with regards to the kind of work you're likely to be doing.
So what exactly does the client look out for in terms of the value one person brings to the table?
There are quite a lot of skills that are being looked for. Some of them do not even have definite names.
All right.
For instance, you'll find someone telling you, just giving you a random set of instructions. Can you do ABC? Can you help me get 1, 2, 3 things done? And they don't really have any definition. You can't place them anywhere. But now, in recent times, when I talk about virtual assistants, it covers most of these skills that are being sought out for. It's an umbrella body that will summarize most of the tasks that you can do within the online freelance marketplace. So lots and lots of them will fall under virtual assistants. For instance, when it comes to me as a virtual assistant, you'll find me doing web research. You'll find me building databases. For instance, someone wants a list of 100 MDs of private companies dealing with maybe motorsport in the UK. You see, now building such a database is purely web research. And another day you'll find me creating videos. For instance, I have some recurring work which requires me to create videos for businesses, and these videos are summaries of blog posts that they have on their sites.
Okay.
So as a virtual assistant, I wear many hats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tasks are very many. I think the best starting point would be transcription. Talk to us about this, because this might be one of the easiest tasks around the online working space.
Yeah, I have to say that most of those that are working online today with regards to starters in the online marketplace in Kenya started out as transcribers. Personally, I started out as one. So as a transcriber, what you do is transcription, and basically transcription is listening to audio and typing it out, converting spoken word into a document.
Okay.
And these audios could range from lectures, could be something like a sermon, or maybe a conversation, a focus group, anything, as long as there are people speaking and the client wants to convert that into text.
What are the most common jobs that might come on these various platforms that you've just touted? So anyone seated back at home might prepare themselves ideologically that perhaps this is what I should focus on. What type of jobs are there?
Well, I think transcription, there's a lot of transcription to be done.
All right.
Because every day in the codes, like now, there are various branches of transcription. When you go deeper, there's medical transcription, there's legal transcription, and there's general transcription. Yeah? So when it comes to legal transcription, each and every day court cases are happening, and someone wants to put that into text. In the medical field, people are getting, there's consultation happening between, doctors and clients, and there's need to put that again into text and, record those, keep that into record. So there's a lot of work within transcription, but at the same time, there's a very huge workforce that's focused towards transcription. So if you floated a transcription job right here, you'd get, hundreds of proposals, people interested to take on that. So competition is quite high within that basic skill of transcription. But now, if you went into something deeper like legal transcription, not everyone can do legal transcription. Not anyone can do medical transcription. So if you went deeper and acquired that unique, so to say, skill and set yourself out from the rest, you're likely to get better paying gigs and, of course, access work a lot more easier. Another thing I have to say is that you don't really have to start out with transcription, like I said initially. As long as you've looked at possible skills that sell on the online marketplace, and you've gone out and tried to understand what they're all about, and you feel like, I think video editing is something I know, probably it's something you've studied already, so you would want to go that way. You don't have to begin as a transcriber. If you thought about web research being interesting to you, you don't really have to start out as a transcriber again. So there's no definite avenue that you've got to follow. But basically, you've got to start somewhere small, and ideally, it would not pay off immediately.
It takes time.
It takes time.
So tell us about your day. How many hours would you put in? Is this like a 9-to-5 job that you wake up at 8, sleep at 5?
Well, the point at which my day begins is highly determined by the kind of work that I've got, that I expect to get done on a certain day. There's work which is to be done on a regular basis from specific clients, some of them that I've engaged for years, so they're always expecting ABC to be done. So I'll check in on that before I sleep on the previous day. So coming into the new day, I know I need to put in probably 5 hours into this. But at the same time, I'm still welcoming new clients and new work, and probably clients that have impromptu work, which is not very much, which doesn't come in every other day. You find someone who's been away for 6 months, has sent you an email, needs ABC done, and now such work has come in, and you still have got your regular day to work with. So I could wake up at 5, I could sleep as late as 3 a.m.
So in short, the more hours you put in, the more money that you get as well.
Sure. It actually translates to the much you've done is definitely the much you're going to get, because in this online freelance marketplace, economy, you'll never get paid for something you never did. So you're only getting paid for what you're doing.
Is it sometimes seasonal? Are there influx in terms of work? If I'm positioning myself within the online freelance community, how exactly should I position myself, and what am I looking for?
It's very wide when you talk about freelance, the freelancing market. It's very wide. Some of the jobs that are there could be affected by holiday seasons, and maybe holiday seasons mostly. But for me, where I am, I experience a flow of work through the year, such that I can't remember the last time I took a holiday. You're constantly doing work, although at some point you may have a bit less, but every other day there's something to be done. So there are those that experience some seasonal nature kind of, but for me where I am, and with the number of years that I've put in, and the huge pool of clients that I can reach out to, and they can reach out to me for assistance with various things, I don't experience the seasonal aspect of it.
What exactly pushes your account higher than someone else's and you're preferred upon? Yeah.
Yeah, while starting out on a new account, on a fresh account, for instance, on those accounts where you've got to bid for work, where you're placing a proposal and saying, you know, you need a virtual assistant, I can do ABC for you. I'm very much versed with these tasks. So you're starting out as someone who has no working history on that site that's visible. So one thing that must always stand out is your proposal, how you're sending it. And this goes back to, you know, your ability to communicate and convince them that, you know, even if I don't have ratings, even if I don't really have any history on this site, this is something I understand and can actually deliver in. So there's that aspect of, you know, believing in yourself. But at the same time, you can't send one proposal and sit there expecting that it's going to pay off. Before I actually maybe made a successful proposal that was accepted, I must have done maybe tens or even close to 100 of proposals.
You cast your net wide, yeah?
Yeah, you cast it very wide. Even today, I send proposals. They get rejected. Some of them never get responses. So every day is a day to send proposals. Every day is a day to try and look for new work. So you never really stop. When you stop, then your avenues begin to dry up. So I think you've got to believe in yourself. At some point, it's frustrating. You could go for months without ever landing anything, and you know maybe bills are looking up to you. So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Okay.
You've got to put in the work. For some people, it's easy. You hope in a month you can see some returns. Others would hit a year without ever getting anything meaningful.
Is it possible to be an employer within this particular marketplace space?
Yeah, it's possible. In my case, I have a number of clients that I deal with that have, you know, trusted my services over the years. So I have upwards of 10 plus clients that will check in on me on a regular basis. So at some point, if I am handling about 5 clients' requests, I have to establish a way of ensuring that in as much as, yes, there's lots and lots of work for me to do, I still manage to deliver to all of them without getting late on the, you know, deadlines and turnaround times, and most importantly, the quality of work delivered. Because again, when it comes to quality, if you deliver, you know, quality that's not standing out or that does not meet the expectations of the client, you're definitely going to lose them. So my approach to that is I have identified a few guys around me, and I know so-and-so is well versed in probably web research, so-and-so is well versed in maybe video editing, and I engage their services as they may be needed. So randomly I reach out to them and tell them, we've got this to do. It needs 2-3 days to be done. So are you available? Do you have the time? Because I understand their skills and their expertise will produce something that will be acceptable in the eyes of the client. Because at the end of the day, the client doesn't get to know that there are other guys, you know, working around me. They only know myself.
Okay. Well, the money factor is definitely very important. Is it possible to sustain a livelihood if I am working within the online community? And talk to us about figures. How exactly can someone maintain to an upkeep, maintain their lives while they're working within the online market space?
Well, that has got to do with establishing various avenues, various streams of, you know, income within the online marketplace, the freelance marketplace. For me, like I said, I've got a number of clients that will, you know, reach out to me with things to get done. I've also placed myself very well strategically on a number of sites, and while placing myself out there, I try to capitalize on every good, you know, project that I can handle, and at the end of the day, you'll find me with a proper stream of work, and I'll never run out of, you know, I've gone 2, 3, 4, 5 days without work. It never applies. So every day is a working day for me.
Okay.
maybe probably apart from the weekends, they understand that I take my breaks in there.
Yeah.
But now placing yourself on a number of avenues to be able to tap in on what comes in and is well suited for you is how I manage to, you know, earn a living at least.
Okay, as we finish upon that, talk to us about the estimates, because when you mention earn a living,
Yeah.
how comfortable would someone who's prospecting to enter the online space actually, you know, feel? Talk to us about the projection estimates, how much you might make within a week or a month, whichever you're comfortable with.
Well, it's more of a figure that fluctuates, but I would want to dwell more on the hourly rates that we, you know, charge clients for various kind of work.
Okay.
So one of the best rates with regards to the nature of work you're doing, or rather I get to do, is upwards of $10. So $10, that is on the hourly basis.
On an hourly basis.
Yeah, hourly
okay.
basis. So with $10+ on an hourly basis for a certain kind of, you know, task, which could be maybe done for a few hours, you realize that's some good work within a day. But at the same time, you can't peg it at $10+. You realize at some point you probably are even working for less than that, or even once you do your calculations, you realize you've, you know, not done the much you expected to get. To bring in. But basically, it's paying bills. It's sustaining lives. I know lots of people who are in this marketplace, but again, it's taken them lots and lots of time to get there. You can't really talk of them having just come in and, you know, made it in a day or two.
Okay.
So you find yourself making some good amounts today. Probably tomorrow things might not work out very well. Some other day you're good enough. And then there's also the aspect of, you know, I've made quite some good money today. How about I take some rest tomorrow? And then that again, the ability to keep going, you know, when you talk about freelance, there's that free bit of it, whereby you might turn down some work because you're just feeling, no, I can do this. So it's also an aspect which makes it a bit difficult to keep going with a certain figure.
Talk to us about these sites. Are they limited to your quality of work? Can anyone join any specific site and start minting money, quote unquote?
I think one of the things I said from the start is that you've got to, you know, look at the various things that you could do on this space. And then once you've looked at them and tried to understand them, you tell yourself, I think this and this interests me. And then along the way, you might lose interest in that and find something that's more appealing or even exciting. So you might hop onto that. So I don't really want to limit to what people could do. But as long as you believe that there's something you can do, you've got the skill. Is it selling on the online marketplace? Yes, it's selling. So you could hop in there and get a few things done. So someone who's a graphic designer would not really need to have some, you know, outstanding grammar to get into this space and make it. Someone who's well versed in web research would not really need all this, you know, quality, quote unquote. They only get to, they only need to understand whatever they are searching for, how to find it, and then how to present it, and that's it.
Okay. What exactly is needed for someone to become a virtual assistant in terms of the money you put in at the very beginning?
Well, for me, at the start, I remember investing in an old laptop, one that costed me about 20 Gs.
All right.
And then from there, there's the headache of, you know, the internet, because with regards to this work, I'm literally on the internet 24/7. So you need to have proper internet, of which for some people, especially those living out in those far-flung areas where, you know, the connection is a bit not reliable, it may be a bit difficult for them. So proper internet, and then you need a good machine. You don't want to have a laptop that decides today, you know what, you're not gonna work. So you need some proper machine, laptop or maybe desktop. And most importantly, power is another thing that has seen, you know, people get depressed because you've got deadlines and power is gone, and what am I gonna do? But at the top of all this, there's that element of the skill that you're bringing in. There's that skill that you're trying to sell. That's the most important, because some people have started off in cyber cafes. Some people have started off in, you know, shared workspaces that you can go and access a computer, and the costs involved are quite manageable, because you'll find someone who has some workspace, and maybe they're charging 1,000 bob for you to access a computer there, and there's internet maybe in a week, and you realize you don't need to have, you know, 30, 40, 50,000 shillings for you to go buy a laptop. And you don't need, again, to invest in, you know, bundles and all that.
As we conclude, what advice would you give an interested person, perhaps a young fella, just finished university, definitely in the unemployed bracket? What advice would you give them as they look forward to make money, especially within the online freelance community?
Well, I would say one of the things I've realized is that in this marketplace, you only get paid for what you do. So there's no single coin that comes my way that I never worked for. So for anyone with that mentality of, you know, I could just go in and, you know, make imaginary money without really putting in the work, it's a no. For anyone who's probably graduated and you're hanging out there, you're not sure of what to do, and probably those guys in school as well, because I actually started out while I was still in school. I would say it's good to give it a try. Again, don't listen too much listen too much to what people say out there. You know, someone will tell you this no longer works, this is no longer viable. People are coming in every day, people are winning new jobs and getting things started and actually making a name on the marketplace, because it's growing, especially in times like this when Corona came in, and lots of organizations have realized, you know what, it's easier to have a remote-based virtual assistant handling you know, CRM, handling our emails, handling our research and so on and so forth tasks. And that means that there's going to be more and more demand for online work and these services. So the marketplace is growing. So don't be, you know, under the illusion that it's already saturated and there's no longer opportunities for you.
Wow, very interesting. If you are a job seeker, there's an idea for you. Of course, Your Money is all about making you know how to make money, how people are making money and investing their time to weather particularly these tough economic times. Now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we shall have international news awaiting you. Oh, I'm told you don't have a break, so we'll just get into the international news. The Democratic Republic of Congo is poised to join the East African Community. The application to join the East African Community is under verification.